Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. The mother of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. In the 28th chapter of the Quran, Surah Al-Qasas, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the mother of Musa and what she endured when the situation of Egypt was extremely difficult for the children of Israel. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam was born on a year where Fir'aun was commanding his soldiers to execute any newborn male child. And the mother of Musa, understanding the threat that looms upon her child, did everything she could, everything any mother would do to protect her child. And the story goes, the mother of Musa alayhi salam placed Musa in a box on the river, and that box became untied and went down the Nile River and landed at the gates of Fir'aun's palace. You see how the mother of Musa is so concerned over her child, and that Musa was threatened by the environment he was born into. We live in the 21st century, and alhamdulillah, there are so many blessings that we have at our disposal, and alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah. But let's not be naive to the many threats that our children are facing in their day-to-day lives. Whether that's the threat of the liberal thoughts and the liberal movement, people trying to teach and tell your children that you get to choose your gender, that homosexuality there's nothing wrong with it, that's not immoral. And among other things, atheism, polytheism's even on the rise. So many things that are threatening our children, and we need to be like the mother of Musa and rise up to the occasion so that we can spare our children the burdens of these threats, to protect them from these threats. So here are 3 tips to mothers from the story of the mother of Musa alayhi salam, as to how we can protect our children and build strong children so that they are able to lead the next generation of humanity. Number 1, we see from the story of the mother of Musa alayhi salam, she had Iman. She had Iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? He says, إِن كَادَتْ لَتُبْدِي بِهِ لَوْلَا أَرَّبَطْنَا عَلَىٰ قَلْبِهَا لِتَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that she was about to weaken. She was about to expose what's going on. But Allah put Iman in her heart, and so she behaved like a person of Iman. We need to teach our children Iman. It's what saved the mother of Musa, and her Iman saved Musa himself. We need to teach our children about Islam, about their religion. Parents, mothers, what do you expect the relationship of our children is going to be with Islam when they don't know what it is? We cannot, as human beings, we cannot worship something we don't know, something we don't understand. It makes no sense. And even if they continue to retain the name and identify as Islam, they're engaging in something they don't understand. And that's unfortunate. We don't want that for our children. Rather, as mothers, as the primary caretakers of children, the primary discipliners of children, we need to take the time to teach them about Tawheed, who Allah is, His names, His attributes, about Ramadan, about Salah, about Zakah, about our responsibilities towards Allah, the rights of Allah, His names and His attributes. Look, parents, you sacrifice so many years of your life, so many hours a week for the purpose of your children's education. You got to do your homework. You sit there helping them do their homework. You make sure their schoolwork is organized. You take them to school. You take them from school. You put them to bed. You make their lunch. Day in, day out, you're doing such a major sacrifice and a favor for your children. You're trying to build their worldly well-being. But if we have the time to do that, shouldn't we make the time to take care of their after-worldly well-being? In fact, their worldly and after-worldly well-being. Because part of being a believer is finding stability in this life, being happy. If we have the energy and the enthusiasm to do that for their worldly affairs, then we have the energy and the enthusiasm to do that for their after-worldly, for their religious affairs. We need to just make it a priority. So the first thing is Iman. As mothers, you need to understand Iman, be people of Iman, and then teach that, transfer it to your children. Number 2, dua. Make dua for your children. Our children are being threatened by so many things, ideologically speaking, that is, here in America. And let's face it, these challenges are greater than you and I. They're greater than any one masjid or a community of masajid, multiple masajid can deal with. Yes, we can work towards helping them, but these issues are so great. And seriously, as parents, you know this better than I do. These challenges are above and beyond us. We feel like it's just going to overpower us. But nothing can overpower us with the power of dua. Dua goes to Allah, and Allah is the overpowering. He's the one who changes affairs. And so it is expected and assumed that the mother of Musa, once Musa alayhi salam's box was untied and went down the stream, she was probably making dua day in, day out. Oh Allah, protect Musa. Oh Allah, protect Musa. Oh Allah, protect Musa. Musa being raised in the castle of Fir'aun, the castle, the center point of tyranny, the center point of wealth and luxury and desires. He was being threatened at all angles, subhanallah. But through her dua, Allah protected Musa alayhi salam, protected his iman, protected his akhlaq, his manners, sent him one of the perfect women, Asiya radiyallahu ta'ala anha, to look over Musa alayhi salam. It's her dua that did that. So how much dua do we make for our children? It is essential, it is important. And we ask Allah to protect our children. Ameen. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Another example of a righteous mother, the mother of Maryam alayhi salam. Her story and the story of Maryam and the story of Isa alayhi salam go back to this blessed lady's dua. She made a dua to Allah. Oh Allah, I have a child. I ask you to accept this child, to make this child someone righteous towards you, someone who serves you and serves the believing cause. And it came out to a young lady. And the mother of Musa, the mother of Maryam also said, Oh Allah, I ask you to protect her and to protect her children from the shaitan, from the devils. Look at what came about from her dua. Maryam alayhi salam, a perfect lady, a role model for you and I, for man and woman. And then Isa alayhi salam, one of the 5 major prophets, ulul azmi min ar-rusul, the strong-willed messengers. From what? The dua of a mother, a loving mother. The third thing that we need is to give our children time. I mentioned this in the previous video, but I'm mentioning it again. When you look at the consumer culture and the way marketing tries to attract you and I, they teach women, they teach mothers to take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. And of course, that's true. But the feel that you get is that you need to ignore these other things. You just need to focus only on yourself. Taking time off, taking time to relax and to rest, yes, that's part of being a parent, that's part of being a person. But the feel that we're getting more and more is, oh women, just do your own thing. Focus on your own self. Go buy the things you want. Go to the spa. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair done. That's what you need to do. And, of course, this is in the interest of the marketer because, well, they're essentially saying, spend your money so that we can make more money. That's what it is, really. And you're finding an increase in this, unfortunately, not just here in America, not just American Muslims, Muslims abroad in other countries, and even non-Muslims. This is a growing problem. Mothers who don't want to be mothers, fathers who don't want to be fathers. We don't have that privilege. We don't have that option. We are responsible in front of Allah for our children. And so you don't have the time, we need to make the time. You don't like this, you better learn to like it. Or else the next generation is going to fail. They're going to be overtaken by the threats. They're going to be easy prey for the shaitan. And no parent wants that for their child. And so these are 3 tips, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, to mothers. May Allah bless you. May Allah give you the strength, the patience to deal with us, to deal with your children. It is tough and it is the ultimate sacrifice. May Allah bless each and every one of you. But here are 3 tips from me to every mother. Learn Iman, be a person of Iman, and transfer that to your children. That's what protects them from the threats and makes them leaders. Number 2, dua. Make dua constantly for your children to be protected from these threats, to be protected from the shaitan, and to become leaders who are a source of good and stability for humanity. And number 3, time. They deserve it. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.